Alright, so here is a look at the new Huawei Ascend Mate, kind of Huawei's answer to the Galaxy Note 2. If you want to look at some specs, you will see right here, Ascend Mate there. We can go ahead and back out, go back to the device. You see I have my Note 2 right next to it just to kind of give a little size comparison. The Huawei has a 6.1 inch display as opposed to the Note's 5.5 inch display. So again, they have decided to go with a larger display. They use, it's an HD IPS Plus display inside the device. It does have a quad-core 1.5 gigahertz processor, high silicone. Otherwise, other spec-wise, it does have, the display resolution is not 1080p. I can go ahead and go into the settings to show you guys this. So in settings, we can scroll down, go to About Phone. It should really say About Tablet. This device is so large, having the 6.1 inch display. But you'll see About Phone resolution right there, 720 by 1280. You'll see Android version 4.1.2. So it is not on the latest Android version yet. You don't see any phone other than a Nexus device on 4.2 yet. So there's that. You'll see it does have 2 gigabytes of RAM, 1.8 gigabytes available. Quad core. It says 1.4 gigahertz, but the sign says 1.5 gigahertz. So I'm not too sure what's going on with that. Hopefully Huawei will clarify and clear that up, whatever is going on. But anyways, let's take a look at the device itself. As I said, Android 4.1.2 does have its own overlay. I don't know if they have a name for it, but you'll see scrolling through screens, they have a very different style to just kind of switching between them. It does not have an app drawer in their home launcher, so I don't see any app drawer. It's all kind of grouped into these folders, etc. Of course, it does have the Google Play Store, so you can go ahead and just find a third-party launcher from the Play Store if you wanted to install that. Otherwise, though, we can go ahead and go into our web browser here and load something up. Alright, here we go, loaded on up. I'm just taking a good look at it. You'll see, I mean, you can just see so much of any specific website with this huge screen. That's just one of the benefits of having the big screen, honestly. It's just the ability to see more on it. Of course, it is so large that, here, let's see if I can, it's very limited to the amount that I can pull it out, but you'll see the back has actually got a little bit of a curve to it. Little curved design on the side. You have the power button above the volume rockers, so you will see, press the power button there. We can check out the lock screen. Lock screen, you've got shortcuts to the phone, the camera, messaging, and unlock. You will, it kind of reminds me of the Motorola Moto Blur. Their lock screen kind of reminds me of it. Also, this whole overlay kind of reminds me of my UI. If you've ever run that custom ROM before, if you flash custom ROMs, you might know what I was talking about. On the back, though, it does have an 8 megapixel camera. Nothing out of the ordinary. LED flash. You'll see nice Huawei on the back of it. With the big screen comes, of course, a big battery. It does have a 4050 milliamp hour battery, which should produce very good battery life, hopefully. Again, with the bigger screen, it's going to use more battery, but even that's such a big battery, which adds to some weight. Of course, it is a little bit heavier than the Note 2. However, it's not too much heavier. Again, they're both very comparable in size. Another little neat feature is that you can actually put down the whole on-screen touch buttons. I think this is actually really cool, and more manufacturers need to start doing this, is where you can actually bump this down and utilize the entire screen in the application. So you'll see, if you want to go home, you just swipe up and it comes back up. So if I go back into that web browser and I minimize it, you'll see it bumps it down and it uses the whole entire screen. So it's actually a really, really good feature. I think needs to be implemented much more. You can just swipe up and it loads it back up. You can multitask, bring up that multitasking here, go into a file manager. Multitasking, this whole screen does feel a little bit laggy at times. Right now it's actually going okay, but it can get a little laggy. Go into the camera application, take a quick picture there. You can load up the images, image gallery, there we go. So you'll see a lot of people have taken pictures. But otherwise, though, it does feel pretty nice. Again, it's tough with manufacturer overlays because it adds so much bloat to it, which is okay. I mean, every manufacturer's doing it anyways, pretty much. So again, they're going with that one-handed feel. You've got you can switch sides to it. The dialer does that as well. Go into that dialer and you can switch it from left to right very quickly. You can go straight to contacts. You'll see none were found, no big deal. You also have a themes option, which is actually really cool. Very similar to my UI. I don't know. You'll see there's Breeze and Default. Those are two options. Otherwise, the default launcher does not have an app drawer, which is okay because you can customize it, which is the great feature of Android. But you have all these folders. You can swipe through, and that's really about it. Just a quick first look at the Huawei Ascend Mate. You have to let me know what you think. Be sure to leave a comment. You can subscribe to me as well. I'll be having lots of CES coverage. But thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.